Well, hello, my friends. Welcome back to another reaction starring yours truly, the Ultra Beast himself, Mr. Josh Penrod. Welcome back, guys. So, as you can tell by my background, today we're going to be reacting to the teaser trailer for Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. I have to be very quiet right now since it is currently 3 in the morning.
And everyone in the house is asleep.
It's been a long week for my family and I, so I thought I'd take the opportunity while I'm still awake to do a little reaction. Understandably, it's a little very late on my end, but hey, that's the grind for you. But anyway, so Shang-Chi, Marvel character, Marvel superhero. As far as I know, I'm not as familiar with him as I am with, say, someone like Iron Fist. Because with Iron Fist, I know he has, he's like Danny Rand. He's like some white guy who is like, oh, I discovered the power of chi from this uh, dragon named Sholao the Undying is his name, and that's kind of how where he gets the power of chi. But Shang-Chi,
Shang-Chi's the real deal.
whereas I see Iron Fist as kind of like Chuck Norris, Shang-Chi's definitely leaning more towards Bruce Lee. As far as I know of Shang-Chi, I don't know a whole lot, but from what I know, I understand Shang-Chi is a character who was created in the 70s, 1973, if I'm not mistaken, during a period of time when movies like Enter the Dragon and Game of Death were, like Game of Death was just being made and Enter the Dragon came out, then Bruce Lee died, and then there was the whole Bruce exploitation thing that happened. Challenge of the Tiger, the Dragon lives again, Bruce Lee fights back from the grave, a whole slew of like different movies to honor Bruce Lee's legacy as of course the greatest martial arts fighter in all of film history. But Shang-Chi was kind of a byproduct of that. He was a sign of the times, basically. And I'm so glad that Marvel right now is deciding to go in this direction. I find it so awesome. And this is one of the few movies where it's like, okay, it's a different character. We have a different backstory and hopefully, like a different story and different villains, which is exciting to me, which is why I believe this is my first Marvel reaction. If you don't know, I am a Marvel fan, along with being, of course, the kaiju guru and being, also a DC fan and a couple other things. Marvel is also in that Rolodex of things that I'm interested in. But anyway, back to Shang-Chi. So yeah, apparently I believe he's the Mandarin's son. We'll get to the Mandarin in a little bit afterwards, after we're done watching reacting to the video, the trailer. Anyway, let's get started, shall we? Oh.
I gave you 10 years to live your life. Now you see me rise. And where did that get you?
Oh, wow. Oh.
You walked in my shadow.
Yes.
I trained you. So the most dangerous people in the world couldn't kill you.
Yum.
Son, it's time for you to take your place by my side. That's not going to happen.
Yo. No way. Yes.
You can't outrun.
Oh my god. Yes. Yes. That's how you do it. That's how you do it, man. Yo. Yo. Oh. Yo. Oh my gosh. Oh, is it San Francisco?
We make a good team.
Oh, Aquafina. Well, well, well.
Damn, that was good.
Well, that was good. That was a lot to process. It was a lot of. This is definitely going to be one of the most, if not the most, action-packed Marvel film to date.
No cap.
Absolutely no cap. The thing about martial arts films, I personally think that martial arts films are the greatest subgenre of
Actions.
action films ever. Just ever. And this is primarily because of all of the choreo. The choreo in martial arts films is like it's like a dance. I know this for a fact because I took Taekwondo for like 8 years. It was a very big part of my life. I wasn't good at it per se, but I did work hard at it. With something like this, it's like it's very, very particular and specific the way that a lot of this choreo has to play out. And I do think that it's gonna do well in that department. I mean, if you don't believe me, just watch the ending fight scene in Dragons Forever. I mean, that's all you need. That's really all you need. But anyway, in terms of the plot, it seems like Shang-Chi has betrayed his father's trust. And by his father, I mean the Mandarin. As I said earlier, we'll get to the Mandarin. Let's talk about the Mandarin now. If you are a Marvel fan, you probably know that the Mandarin is an Iron Man villain. Of course, in this particular case, he's a Shang-Chi villain because, as we all know, Endgame, Tony gone. Tony dead. He's dead. Probably not coming back.
Probably not coming back.
But anyway, we know Mandarin as an Iron Man villain. I forgot if he was an archaeologist or not. He was probably an archaeologist. Or maybe that was just the Iron Man cartoon. I don't know. The basic gist is that he's just a regular guy who sought out power for the sake of power.
And yeah, gee, guess where that led him down?
So from that, he found this. He kind of found this cavern that housed what was it? An alien spaceship that was, of course, owned by.
Oh my goodness, what are they called?
I think they're called Malakians or something like that. But whatever they're called, they're basically alien shape-shifting space dragons. I mean,
Need I say more?
but that's where the legend of the 10 rings comes from because the Mandarin has, as we all know, that's his main ability is he has the 10 rings, which were, the power rings, the 10 rings of power came from this spaceship that these dragons owned. So he kind of just grabbed the rings and said, "Oh, I have all power in the world now." I can't remember if the rings represent anything in particular. All I know is that these are the 10 rings of power, and when the Mandarin owns them, he becomes the Mandarin, and their power kind of infused with his, and then he became a ruler, a tyrant, basically, to an extent. He quote unquote enslaved Tony Stark and sought out his tech. He was basically forcing Tony to make tech for him. And rumor has it in this movie, hopefully, there's a supposed appearance of Fin Fang Foom. who was one of the space dragons who served under the Mandarin for a good period of time. Let me tell you something. Fin
Fang frickin' Foom.
is quite possibly my favorite villain in all of Marvel Comics. And even more possibly, my favorite villain in all of comics in general. Fin Fang Foom is,
A badass.
I mean, he's a space dragon. Like, you can't get much better than that. He's a freaking space dragon. You keep I don't even need to say anything after that. Like, no other comment, just space dragon.
Shape-shifting space dragon. You don't need anything else from that.
But I mean, since he has that direct connection to the Mandarin, I really, really hope that he shows up in this movie. I mean, a lot of these fights are going to be great, and they're going to have, like, it's going to be a lot of one-on-one human combat action, especially if it's going to be from the Mandarin, the real Mandarin, by the way, this time around, not Ben Kingsley from Iron Man 3, because as we all know, that didn't work out the way we wanted it to. However, there was a Marvel one-shot or like an extra scene that they filmed where they established that the Mandarin does exist in this universe, and now we're finally getting him. Anyway, yeah, man, this movie looks really good. It looks damn good. I'm curious as to how this is going to connect with the rest of the MCU. And I really love that they're going in this direction of, martial arts action as opposed to, like we've had high tech stuff, we've had the mystic arts, we've got witchcraft, we've got aliens, we got gods, literal gods from different realms, we've got interdimensional beings, and now we got, martial arts energy chi stuff. And I really love that. And I love that this kind of movie is happening. And I think this is the kind of thing they need to do a little bit more of, I think if we can get kind of the horror thing going for Doctor Strange and Multiverse of Madness and then kind of maintain the usual, espionage kind of high-tech action similar to, like, I guess Fast and Furious is a good comparison. Why not go the martial arts route? Let's be honest.
Martial arts movies are not as prevalent as they used to be.
I think martial arts movies really need to come back into the limelight. Maybe not as many parodies. There've been a lot of martial arts parodies before in the past, and maybe now it's time to be like, let's take this seriously. And of course, it's the MCU, so it'll also be really deep. But anyway, that's my thoughts on the trailer. It's going to be really good. If you want to subscribe to me, if you want to like, comment, share, dislike, I don't really care. I'm just here for the ride, man.
I'm in college. I'm just here for the ride.
But anyway, see you guys on the flip side in the next video. Mr. Penrod signing out. Welcome.
Let us greet the Dragon Lords of Kakavanthara.
Or don't hit back.